Hello, I've got another Three Floyds Brewery beer to try out. Zombie Dust, I've covered. This is Zombie Ice by Three Floyds Brewery. Zombie Ice. So, here's the specs on this beer from their website.
Zombie Ice. The Undead Double Pale Ale. 8.5% alcohol by volume. 55 IBUs. Crafted with an unholy amount of citra hops, this double undead pale ale heralds the zombie evolution after the dust has settled from the apocalypse.
And that's that. So it's got the usual comic book kind of. I actually like the artwork. I did at first. I didn't, but I actually like the artwork on this. All right, this beer was $13 for a 6-pack, which I think is reasonable on today's market. I'll check it out. I know I'm a big fan of some of their other beers. I have not had this yet. And the can looks like the art, more or less. Some blue-eyed skull. Grinning his teeth. All right. I'll tell you what I think of it. Smells really fruity. It's got a lot of smell to it. Smells like tangerines, quite frankly. Strongly smells like tangerines. All right, so I thought it would be blonde, kind of an orange, slightly hazy. I'm expecting good things out of this. I have not had a beer from them yet that I did not like. Oh, look at this. Picture perfect. Picture perfect. It's quite cold. I can tell you this beer is about 27 degrees Fahrenheit. Got a very fine, small head on it. But at 27 degrees Fahrenheit, I would expect most of the CO2 is remaining in the beer until I drink it or it warms up, whichever comes first. Well, that's pretty darn good. It got a very fruity taste to it. Fruity, big time. With some hops bitterness. Pretty well balanced. Very fruity. Hops bitterness going on in the aftertaste. I'm not tasting the alcohol in it. Get the carbonation. Pretty good. It's pretty good. It really doesn't taste like anything I would think an ice beer would taste like. Which I don't drink ice beers as a rule because I think they're kind of gross tasting. And I think for me, ice beer, it's usually for me, it's like what beer alcoholics drink that on a budget and they just want to drink beer and get drunk. They'll buy some cheap ice beer. And It's not bad beer, but it's just, for me, it has a bad image for just like people that want to get beer drunk as cheap as possible. And they don't really have, most ice beers, usually pretty smooth, but they don't really have a lot of character to them. This has character. And it's relatively smooth. Very, very fruity. Kind of a tart sourness. I swear, it's like taking a bite off a tangerine with the peel still on it, if you can imagine that. I got some hops bitterness lingering on that. Well, today was my day off. That job, I swear, I'm either gonna come out of that in really good shape or it's with a bad back. Very menial labor. I'm surprised I'm hanging with it at my age. But on my drive home from work at nights, I always pass D&L truck stop, more or less, and I always go in there and grab something. It's starting to pile up in my freezer. I got all kinds of beers in there I haven't even tried yet. This was one of them. I wouldn't say I like this more than Zombie Dust. I would say it's the best ice beer I've had. Been a long day. Today is Easter Sunday. I don't have to be back to work till tomorrow evening. Tomorrow afternoon, midday. I did everything I set out to do. I went to church. Enjoyed that. Learned some stuff that I didn't realize about the Last Supper. I didn't realize, I don't know why, it never occurred to me that Jesus was presiding over Passover feast on the Last Supper. And he was the new covenant and all that. I didn't realize that. I just thought they'd all gotten together to have dinner. I didn't know it was Passover feast. And that's when he said, he made himself, I'm the offering. And then I went out today and did some gardening. It's April 20th and it's been so cold. We had snow this week. I said, that's it. I'm planting things today. It's good. They're going to grow. So I did all that. I went down by the river, creek, whatever you want to call it, not far from here, and made a Old Lang Syne video. Not Old Lang Syne, sorry. Amazing Grace. See, I have a holiday tradition. Easter, I play Amazing Grace. And, Old Lang Syne, I play on New Year's. Silent Night, I cover Christmas Eve, of course. And I play other music, too. Today, I think I did my best rendition of Amazing Grace. And then I was able to play all three instruments, tin whistle, guitar, and accordion. And get it all in the video. Only a little over a minute long. I'll stick it on the end of this video. Kind of odd to Amazing Grace at the end of a beer review, but why not? I mean, Jesus, they drank wine. They had 3 or 4 cups of wine at the Passover feast. It wasn't strong wine. Pastor Dan said that they watered it down generally quite a bit, more than usual, so that they didn't want anybody getting drunk during the Passover feast. At least the head of the household, the one presiding over the feast. He had wine, but they watered it down more than usual. But they had a, alcoholic drink on Passover and Jesus' Last Supper. So, really out of it today. I don't know if I'm just feeling my age or, honestly, I was very exhausted from yesterday at work. Worked really hard. I felt like I've been at the gym. I walk about 7 or 8 miles on that job. But I've been loading these bags of mulch, big bags of like landscaping mulch. They've got a sale on. One bag for $2, and people are buying like 100 bags of them. Guess who gets to load them onto their trucks and their wagons? Moi. Me, sometimes just me. Sometimes I'll get a couple other young bloods. Nobody my age will do it, but I will. And the bags are waterlogged. Big bags of waterlogged mulch. Oh, God. That just wore me out. But I did it. I did it. And whenever they called for people to go out there and do that, a lot of guys and women said, no, I'm not doing it. They're all supposed to, but they don't. I'll answer the call. I always go out there. Part of the reason I'm going there is for the exercise. I mean, I could get by. I don't really need the money per se. But I wanted to get out of the house, get some exercise, earn a little extra money. See if I may go back to France. Who knows? God willing. I don't know what I'm going to be doing. I'm just taking it one day at a time. But I picked this up on the way home from D&L. I actually asked the guy to order me a bunch of Three Floyds Brewery's beers. And he did, or he did. But they weren't per se for me. He told me a couple weeks ago, he said they all come in Wednesday. So the beer comes in, get here early. And I did. Tastes more like an IPA, but a very fruity one. Kind of, like I said, tart. Fruity and tart with hops bitterness. Pretty smooth. Doesn't bite. Like this looks like it would. I think I'm going to get another dog. This loneliness is driving me nuts. I keep telling myself, get used to it. I'm older, I lost my brother a few weeks ago, my younger brother. I've lost some other people I've been talking about. I miss everybody terribly. I lost my dog a couple of years ago. And I haven't gotten a dog since, but I think I'm ready to get another dog. I want to get a rat terrier, for better or worse. I had one before. I was very impressed. Granted, they will run. You got to keep a leash on them. If I could get a rat terrier as smart as my Maggie, the one I had, she was an excellent dog. I'd be very lucky. She got hit by a car. I was out doing gardening and let her out of my sight for one moment, and she was out in the road. I miss her. I miss all my dogs. I don't know. I always said, just give them the best life you can, and they hit the doggy lottery. Well, I always do. I figured get a dog. Having a dog, takes the edge off loneliness. Better than nothing. sometimes it's better than a lot, better than some people. You know, if you can have people around there, just a, how do you say it? It stress you out more than being alone. The drama. Oh. I'm debating undertaking the van life. That is to say, to buy a great big cargo van and try to live out of it. During the summer months, I could save my money and then go somewhere else in the wintertime. Park the van and get on a plane and fly somewhere else. Somewhere where I don't get buried in snow. And I'm not isolated like I am here. I don't know if I'm that bold to do that. I would have definitely done it when I was younger. But then again, I'd say, what am I going to do? I don't know. Just one day at a time. Take care of yourself. Keep going to work. Trust God. Yeah, I feel really wiped out, tired. Work was just crazy yesterday. I couldn't get through a break. You know, I finally go on my 15-minute break, and before I could even get to the break room, I got people stopping me needing help. And then I finally got to the break room. They called me up and they needed me to go out and load waterlogged bags of mulch onto cars and trucks. And I said, all right. But then I came back to my break and they got me a second time. They needed me for something else. And when I got hired, they said, when you go on break, if they need your help with something, you go help out, but then you come back and finish your break. I had a hard time just getting to the break room without them needing me. And when I got to the break room, 15-minute break, they called me out twice. You know, I had to do some heavy labor, honestly. And no wonder I'm exhausted.
Oh!
Well, zombie ice. I don't like it as well as zombie dust, but it's pretty good too. If you like ice beer, this may be the ice beer for you. I don't care for ice beer per se. Too malty. I don't know. But it's the best ice beer I've had. Taking into consideration, I don't like ice beer to begin with. It's pretty good. It tastes more like an IPA than an ice beer. Ice beer. Chug once first. Yeah, it's all right. Yeah. Happy Easter 2025, all of you. God bless.